I'm posting this video for my family's protection. I'm posting this video for documentation purposes only because Disney Cruise Line is not doing anything about the situation that's happening on board. We're currently being confined to our room.
This is the craziest story, and I never thought I could be this angry for someone on a Disney cruise than I am after listening to this creator's situation. Now, I do encourage you guys to hop over. She's got 3 parts, but I'm going to try to break it down into one video. See if we can help her out. So basically what happened is her husband, and their 2 young children are on a Disney cruise, in addition to her friend and the children's godmother. Her and her husband go on an excursion. They take their 3-year-old to the kids club and their infant into the nursery area. They go on their excursion. When they come back and pick up their 3-year-old, the 3-year-old says, "Hey, I fell. I got hurt at kids club." They ask what happened, and she tells her that her face is kind of hurting, and basically was like, okay, like as a parent, it appeared like she was okay. So they go about their day, go about their business, and in the middle of the night around 2 a.m., their daughter wakes up screaming in discomfort and excruciating pain, saying she wanted to go see the doctor. Her and her husband then take the child to this doctor on the cruise. They say, "Hey, she fell at kids club. We're just bringing her in because of this issue." They look her over. They say, "Actually, no, she has some kind of infection. We're going to give her an antibiotic." They say, "Okay, it's a little weird. We didn't even really discuss that she fell at the kids club, but this is a doctor, so we're going to take her word and hopefully it helps." Which, major red flag, you wouldn't even give antibiotics to someone with a viral infection. So that was red flag number 1. After they get back and get settled, she's thinking, this is kind of weird. Like, why did they never bring up the fall at kids club? So she goes up to customer service and says, "This is the incident that happened. My daughter fell at kids club. I really need more answers." They say that they're going to look into it. She goes back to sleep around 3 or 4 in the morning. And at 7 a.m., they are getting bombarded with call after call with the medical team stating that mom and dad needed to rush back down there, not to bring the children, just mom and dad. They go down. They say, "What's going on?" They say, "Actually, we misdiagnosed her. She didn't have this. She now has this infection." Now, the mom has been very specific to not share the infection just for her daughter's privacy. So they tell her that they misdiagnosed her daughter and that it's actually a different virus that she has. And get this, they tell her that they have had to report it to the CDC. The craziest thing is, the mom says she was never swabbed for any viral infections. How would they even come to the conclusion that she had any type of viral infection that would cause concern to forcing them into a 5-day quarantine? But they say, this is actually the infection she has, and now you guys have to isolate for 5 days. If you choose not to isolate in the cabin on the ship, you are going to have to get off the boat at the next port, and you're going to have to basically find everything, airfare, all the ways to get home. Now, her and her husband did not feel comfortable separating because they were going to have to take separate flights with each of the kids, so they decided the best thing that they could do was stay on the boat. In addition, they still didn't have answers. They're like, "I'm not getting off this boat until we have more answers." At this point, she explains that they are being taken care of. They are treating them to everything. Room service, they have people coming and checking on them, and they're being absolutely wonderful. But the issue still is, they aren't able to enjoy their vacation, they aren't able to enjoy their cruise, and they have to be locked into a quarantine with their 3-year-old and an infant with absolutely no reason and no proof as to why. In addition, they are not being told what happened in the kids club, which could have led to their daughter feeling the way that she was. She did make a few follow-up videos. She said that the security was looked over and they were told that they didn't see the little girl fall. However, the mom still hasn't seen proof and has no answers. She also stated that the doctors or somebody on the medical staff did come back and look at her daughter, and they basically said, yeah, she shows no signs of this infection, yet they're still forcing them to quarantine in their cabin. While she is being super, super calm, like I have to give her so much credit because I would be absolutely losing my shit. She says that she is so upset and she is looking for answers. And she's really just hoping to get those answers before they get back and they port for their final destination. Now, these are her final words I will leave you with.
My daughter is a little girl. She doesn't really know what's going on, but she's still a human. She still has rights. And the only person who can advocate for her right now is me. These people are not advocating for her. They had a duty of care to my daughter and failed her because they're trying to save themselves. The doctor didn't report the fall incident. I know that they didn't because they never readdressed it. Guest services might have looked into the fall, okay? But I still haven't gotten the answers that I need. Security came down last night and said, "Oh, she didn't fall. We looked at the camera, she didn't fall." Okay, but I still need to talk to management and see what activity she was doing that day because maybe something else happened that we don't know about. So what actually did take place? That's what I want to know.
If you have any information or if anything like this has ever happened to you, I highly recommend jumping over to her page and reaching out to her. Let's help get this mom and her family some justice for how they've been treated and all of the misinformation they've been given on this Disney cruise.